a high-frequency channel where source and spirit meet in tandem, where forces between the mind, body, and spirit meet in friendship, while building a unity of energy and creation, fluidity in consciousness, where we let our spirits speak.
Welcome to another episode of The Raven's Den. Blessings to you all. Love and light. Namaste. This episode, the title, talks about what is humanity not doing? Let's talk about this. Make sure you got yourself some tea, some coffee, some liquid hydration, and let's have a chat. Always remembering that this podcast is always about speaking from the core, speaking from the heart, speaking from your soul. Now, I understand that many individuals might look at me and feel a certain way, which is okay. I am not the entire world. I am not the entire universe. But here's something to contemplate on. We are literally focusing on the wrong stuff. We are focusing on things that don't even resonate with us. See, folks, the time has come for us to make a quantum leap, a paradigm shift. Which is okay. The changes that are necessary right now, first and foremost, start with those that are parents. Teaching children life skills, not allowing external influences to be the guide or the teacher. I mean, sometimes music is okay. Sometimes the friends are alright too, or the family. But it's teaching them life skills. That's massively important. Spirituality is as well. You see, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Our minds aren't necessarily in the right space, even in the right time and space. We literally have to take ourselves outside of ourselves and begin to do, I always talk about the 4 R's, the reflect, release, recreate, and then reinvent. Some of this stuff is massively important. Trust me. You see, reflecting upon life that we've already lived shows us things that either we have done and we shouldn't do again, shows us some of the things that we should be doing, or some of the people or circumstances that we should be in and be around. But what I'm going to do is tell you that humanity should not be repeating the same history over and over again. This journey is our choice. Each one of us has our own path. Now, that does not mean that each one of us are unique. The experience that we have may be unique to ourselves. But even the experiences themselves are made by choice. So what's humanity not doing? This is not the time for us as a race to be avoiding each other. This is not the time for our race, the human race, yes. This is not the time for our race to be petty. This is the time to begin to accept our differences and coexist. The question is, what do you really want to do? That could be a number of things. But I'd like for us to sit and talk about this. The chat lines, the chat is open too. You want to comment on this in live time? You can do so. If you want to share this, you can do that as well. I appreciate it. You see, ever since this virus started, humanity changed. We became more introverted, or we became more rebellious against the factions of the government. Truthfully, I think that we don't know what to believe. Doesn't matter if you're psychic or gifted, but there is a truth. And you see, my truth may be different from your truth, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The one thing that we have to understand as a race is that coexistence is inevitable. We have to begin to change the very nature of who we are. No more hate, no more violence, no more pain and suffering. Even though at times pain and suffering is just a response to an unwanted circumstance or situation. Humanity must begin to remember where we came from. Each one of us may have came from a different place. Of course, I can discuss this over and over and over again. We could say Andromedan, we could say Orion, we can say that we're Syrian. I truthfully believe that we're all hybrids in some way, shape, or form, except for those that are more in the 3D reality of things. But the truth is, how was it when you were a kid? I mean, when you were a child. Most of us, within reason, were able to be fluid, enjoy life. We were able to savor each moment for what it truly is. But you see, this life is built upon, your life is built upon, my life is built upon, everyone's life is built upon choices. What's humanity not doing? They're not choosing the right vibration. I'm not saying everyone. Okay, I know that there's hordes of people that are, and we're talking about not just light workers, because I'm not just going to segregate them specifically, okay, but the psychic community, those that are, extremely gifted, those who do believe in unknown sources, as well as, unknown things, learning about the monads and the mysteries. Everyone who's connected, everyone who's even been through one ascension of some kind or another knows that we are all interconnected. I had a conversation with somebody the other day that she actually said to me that no matter what she did, her choices and her actions, her movements, her vibration, directly or indirectly affects other people around her. I think that this was a wonderful statement, to say the least. Because each and every single one of us has to decide what's best for us and which way we really want to go in life. Do you want to be the scared little child for the rest of your life? Do you want to cower down and do whatever everybody else is telling you to do? Or are you going to be a leader? Or a guide? Directing the lost people? Or the just woken up? Each one of us has our own levels. Each one of us in this existence can be anything we want. We can be an artist, an astronaut, an athlete, a singer, a musician. There's beauty in creativity. What's humanity not doing? Humanity right now is not being, a lot of you, are not being who you're supposed to be. A lot of you are not being your authentic self. A lot of you are holding back. A lot of you are hesitating, second guessing what it is you truly want to be in life. There is absolutely no reason why any of you should be waiting for something to happen. There is absolutely no reason why your choice cannot be made right now. Do you love your life? Do you love what you have? Are you willing to risk it all in order to obtain the life that you always dreamt of? Think about that. This is what I can tell you, coming from a person of experience. I can tell you that in life, we gain things, we lose things, we build things, things get broken down. It's inevitable. But during the journey, some people get lost. Some people are in 3D for too long. And they don't allow themselves to dream. I've actually spoken to people that tell me that they don't dream, which I don't even know how in the world life would be if I didn't dream. I have those crazy, colorful, filling every one of your senses kind of dreams almost every time. So I don't know how it is not to have that. I think the dream state would be kind of boring without it. At least that's my take on it. But here's the thing. You gotta know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how can you ask for it? Do you know what you want? Then by the powers that be, go get it. Reach. Fail. All the way to your glory. What's humanity not doing? Humanity is not being strong. Humanity is not remembering how truly powerful they are on this planet. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how big your house is. It doesn't matter how big your bank account is. It doesn't matter what kind of a job you have. It matters what's inside. How can life continue to keep going if all we're doing is rioting, looting, destroying, hating, being violent, even being abusive to ourselves? It's like self-abuse, to be honest. Sometimes I think, why do I even bother? Why do I even bother doing what I do? Because I love to talk. I also love to help people. Truly deep down in the pit of my heart, in the center core of my soul, helping people is what I am, and helping people is what I do. Forever. What is humanity not doing? Humanity is not vibrating on a higher level. It's time to not put the cart before the horse. It's time to take that leap of faith. Care about yourself. I get it. Personal survival. Self-preservation. I get that too. But it doesn't mean you have to lose your humanity in the process. It doesn't mean that you stop giving a crap for somebody, because that's when you finally give up. Reactivate chivalry. Reactivate chivalry. Allow your values to show who you are. Allow your character to show who you are. I've taken a lot of things into consideration over the course of the last 10 years. And nothing is more powerful than what I'm doing right now. Begin to dream again. Be creative. If you don't have a creative bone in your body, I don't even know how I would exist if I didn't have that. Some of you are better at things than I am, or vice versa. It takes guts, it takes vulnerability, it takes strength. It takes knowing what your purpose is. It takes you knowing yourself. I am absolutely grateful to be able to sit here with you today and do exactly what I love to do. Are you doing that? That's a really great question. Are you doing that? Are you living your purpose? Or are you holding yourself back, waiting for the right moment? Stop it. Stop waiting. Take it from somebody that even had a hard time getting on here and doing what I'm doing right now. At least I admit it. If you love helping people, go ahead. Go do it. We need more people to help other people. Trust me when I tell you. I find far too many people that are selfish, that are one-sided, that all they want is for them to get for themselves and not be able to share amongst the people that they even know or they're even close to. That's not gratitude. That's not mindfulness. That's not balance. Selfishness is seclusion. It's like being a institutionalized introvert. This isn't the time to just bow down or get down on all fours and have a leash put around our necks. This is a time for ourselves to rise up as a one race, a human race. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what country you're from, and it sure as fire doesn't matter your age. or your faith. I believe something that's like a God too, a higher power. I talk to it. I request from it. I thank it when the time is right. Could very well be that invisible man up in the sky, or it could be just the divine cosmic universe, or it could very well be my own higher self. Either way, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you believe in something. I'm not knocking atheists who don't believe in anything, but it becomes a very lonely life. I will admit that. I used to be an atheist. Until I found spirituality. Just spirituality, nothing specific. And I have my own routine, of course, but again, this doesn't have to do with me. This really has to do with each and every single one that is listening to this podcast. I love helping people. I love being there for them. I love seeing them grow and seeing them, get out of their, getting their own way. if that makes sense. What do you love? I mean, what do you love to do? I love to talk. I love to, I love to look at things and micromanage and, pull things apart and, sometimes even find the flaws and stuff in order for to help others wake up. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean I'm complaining about this or that. Just means that I'm observing certain things and I'm speaking about what I'm observing. Makes sense. At least to me. That's all that matters, right? Is what matters to you. What makes sense to you. You could say out loud that your father's an alien, an extraterrestrial, a Grey, an Arcturian, a Syrian, a Palladian, an Andromedan, whatever. Okay? An engineer, Sangarian, Lumerian, okay? Even an angel. A lot of the times, well, if you're any bit evolved, a lot of people may actually believe you. What humanity is not doing? Humanity is not opening up. This isn't the time to close shop, man. This isn't the time to put the bars on the windows, This is the time to open up. I know a lot of this that's happening in the news and, geez, I've seen more violent crimes ever since March than I've ever seen in the last 6 or 7 years. Do I want to see it? No. Heck no. And I know you don't either. If you had even an ounce of love and compassion in your heart, you truly feel for those situations, those circumstances. I'll tell you that it's been too long me waiting to speak up. I enjoy showing people that life can be so much better. And if you got a good life, good. That's fine. And cherish it. Trust me when I tell you, because there's a lot more people out there that are suffering at this moment. Fact is, a lot of the ones that are evolved, the people that are evolved, the sentient beings that are growing and being evolved, or evolving, we're doing it collectively. There should be absolutely no reason why our focus should be on all the other stuff. Listen, I'm one that sometimes complains too, and I'm not going to lie about that. You know, this stuff is, I mean, it would make anyone depressed. I would agree. And the one thing that we have to do, we have to find the strength. We have to find that power within us. To live on, to continue doing the good work and fighting for the right reasons. Let's fight for life. Let's assist each other in wealth. That mentality, that mindfulness of, you know, if you want to, you probably have heard a ton of these phrases. You know, if you want it done right, do it yourself. Money doesn't grow on trees. What am I, Fort Knox? You may have said some of this stuff to your kids too, if you're around my age. But the simple fact is that we can all flourish. Even in the midst of a pandemic, we can still flourish. The question is, do you want to? Do you want to flourish? Do you want good things in life? Do you want to show the next generation of children that life doesn't necessarily have to be this hard? Now, to be honest with you, life doesn't have to be difficult. You know this. I don't have to necessarily tell you. Life can be beautiful. It could be abundant. It could be everything that you've ever wanted it to be. And all you really have to do at times is just let go. Some have a really hard time with that. I know I've literally looked at my life and thought, I am so grateful. And I appreciate all of my experiences that I've had. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Because without it, I wouldn't be me. You have to find that fight. You have to find that strength inside of you. It's there. It's right there. Listen, I'll be the catalyst here. Let's start a challenge on social media. I'm going to call it something and then I'm going to post it. You know what? No, I'm just going to say it right here. Because I'm hoping everybody becomes a part of it. And I'm going to call it the gratitude attitude challenge. I want to see us shift this entire world. Shift this ugly vibration that we don't have to live in and literally bring out the light in everyone. I want you to join me in this. Do the things, or begin to do the things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, that bring you into a positive light in everything you do. I actually noticed something about our race, our human race, is that a lot of the time we choose things that we really don't like because it's easier. A job you may not like, you may say, oh, it's just for now, and then 7 years later you're still there. Because it's easy. Or because you got the degree, you spent all that time getting the degree, and this is one of the only things that you do know, and you have experience and you're good at, which is a total lie. It's self-delusion. You may have a bunch of different things that you're good at, many different talents. But you got to be able to begin to believe in yourself again. I mean, come on, guys. And I know a lot of people are suffering with stuff like ADHD and depression and PTSD and severe anxiety and agoraphobic tendencies and paranoid schizophrenia and bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 and and all this stuff, ADHD. All the other things that are out there too. Got to start living happier. Got to find that light inside again. It's right there. It's close. Make sure that at no time your light ever dies out. Because that's when you're dead inside. That's when That's when you throw in the towel. And it's not time for that. You got to be able to dream. You have to be able to create. You have to be able to love every day of your life and cherish it. For every single beautiful moment that you can possibly create. Don't start living someone else's life. Don't continue. If you're doing it now, don't continue doing it. Just stop. Make life what you want it to be. What you desire. Love openly and frequently. Tell people you care about them. Don't make yourself a hermit and just stay away from everybody. Now, don't get me wrong, there is crappy people out there. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm not going to lie. If there's any kids or any teenagers or anything that's listening to this, a lot of it starts with good parenting. What's humanity not doing? Humanity is not being mindful. Okay? A lot of the time, we bypass. A lot of the time, we look at everything that we have around us and we take it for granted because we're used to having it around us. If that's the case, you got to start getting rid of stuff because you don't appreciate it anymore. Got to take the time out, you know. Got to give yourself a chance to dream. What are you dreaming about now? Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how young you are. Doesn't matter what nationality or race you are. What do you really want? What is it that's going to make your day shine like a star? What's going to brighten up your day as bright as the sun? What's humanity not doing? Humanity isn't caring about each other. The ones that really care are afraid to care because they think they're going to get hurt. The ones that don't care will never be affected by it. And the ones that are in between, they're like floating in limbo, wondering what the heck to do next. Well, let me educate you a little bit. In your memories, go back. Go back as far as you can go. Remember when you were a kid. And if it was negative, then try to remember another time. You know, preteen, whatever. Just a time when you were happy. What were you doing? What people were you talking to and being around? What activities were you doing that made you happy? Now, obviously, some of those activities you might not be able to do. We all get older, of course, and there's certain things that we are not able to do, possibly physically, vocally or whatever. So bypass those, cross them off. The things that you can do that make you happy, you should make it a point to do it. That's self-love, man. I gotta tell you, that is self-love. That is self-love to the highest degree. When you begin to do every day things that bring you joy and happiness, everything else just falls into place. Remember those words. Everything else begins to fall into place. More good things come to you. More great experiences come to you. Yes, there's always going to be a balancing act. Okay, yes, there's always going to be a light and dark, a good and evil. Okay, a happy time, a sad time, an ecstatic and joyful time, and an angry time. It doesn't have to be, but you don't have to react that way either. Most of the time we get angry at stuff because of the fact that it's just not going our way. Or somebody is in a certain way. It doesn't have to be like that. That's why I'm making this podcast. I'm doing it again, folks. I am doing it again. Why? Because I love it. That is part of what I love. Doing what I love for the rest of my life. Are you doing it? And no, I'm not here to yell at you guys. Okay, are you doing what you love? Are you doing what makes you feel good? Are you doing and being around the people? Okay, doing the people kind of sounds a little bit inappropriate, so strike that a little bit. But what I'm saying is, are you doing the right things for you? Are you doing what makes you happy? And if you're not, you better start doing it, because time is something you don't get back. I'm going to say thank you for each and every single one of you. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate the spreading of my messages. I am honored and grateful to be able to have the talents, the strength, and the ability to do what I do for the masses. It's your time to begin to feel that way too. And if it's not for the masses, then do it for yourself. What's humanity not doing? Humanity is not directing themselves a lot of the time in a way that cannot be censored, that is absolutely real, that is filled with so much positive energy that no darkness will ever cloud it. I gotta be honest, guys. I usually always am. I gotta tell you this. That you have so much power inside of you. You have so much great talents to share. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes the degrees and the titles, and the certifications sometimes don't matter. What really matters is you, your character, and what you truly love. You gotta be about that stuff. That stuff is what makes life worth living. And if part of it's helping people, then go for it. If you're doing it now, great. I commend you for that. And please, let's give a shout out to, those that are on the front line almost every day, sacrificing their lives for us, fighting this nastiness, this nasty vibration that we call COVID. Okay? It's real, it's here, and we got to work together in order to work against it. We have to. So you want to help support the show, it's up to you. I am not going to try to break your arm to do it. Every little bit helps. I like to be able to do some bigger advertising, some bigger marketing. Okay, for the show, I would like to have guests on this podcast, spiritual bosses that can speak up and speak out for what they sense, what they feel, and what they believe, and what they love. Go and check out my clothing line, the Raven's Den Apparel, on Spreadshirt.com. And I think it's also on Teespring. I forgot. I think I got the two shops. I'm still working on both. So just, bear with me. You got any ideas? Customizations? Anything that you want me to design on clothes that you want to show that shows the essence and the core of you? Let me know. Anybody wants to get a reading? Want to see what I got for you? Check out theravensden.com. thepsychicraven.com. My apologies. Okay, thepsychicraven.com. My business page on Facebook, facebook.com/thepsychicraven. I'm even doing TikToks now. Motivational and inspirational, channeled and psychic TikTok videos. The name on there is Evolutionary Alchemist. Check me out. I'm just starting, but that's okay. All right? Show me some love. Okay? Share some stuff. Share my messages. If you want me to discuss anything, guys, if you guys have any ideas, any subjects you want me to focus on, and you want me to discuss, please be open. Do not hesitate to message me and say, listen, this is important, but I can't talk about it. Can you speak on it? Yes. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even for me. The time is now, guys. The time is now. We have to stop waiting for the world to change. We gotta become the change. What did they say in that movie, the beautiful movie with, what was his name? Wow, I kind of lost it for a second there. Bruce Almighty with, Jim Carrey. And, Morgan Freeman said, you want to see a miracle? Be the miracle. I believe that through and through, and I'm telling you, if you believe it too, I'm serious. If you believe it too, then show it. Don't hold it back anymore. Show that we are going to unite. Unity matters. Coexistence matters. Working together to fight this thing so we can finally live life normally again. Let's raise the vibration, guys. Share the love. Show the love. Show that you really care. That you really, really care and you give a crap about somebody other than yourself. Man, we gotta get our lives back, folks. Don't you think? I believe that. And we can get life back. Okay, well, the government hasn't really been that great on telling us everything. All right, well, for a very long time. All right, well, this CDC stuff may work. I mean, the mask could be a plot, whatever. Say what you want, folks, but the simple fact is that, you know what, you may have the best immune system, and the fact is you could just be a carrier. And it's only going to get worse unless we do something about it. So, we got to raise a vibration, guys. We got to send healing out. We got to clean up our act. We have to. What are you going to do? That's a question you should ask yourself. What are you going to do? I want to be an inspiration. I want to give motivation. I want to motivate those who lack motivation. I want to inspire those who need to be inspired. Because my life was not okay, I will tell you that. I suffered a lot. I don't share a lot of my story because of the fact that it's so hard for me to share it, that every single time I talk about it, I cry. And I'm not going to lie about that. My family has absolutely no idea what I've been through. A lot of it. Some of it's on my profile. As I said, folks, you want to support the show? Please do so. Every little bit does help. You can do it through, I was going to say Facebook. Yeah, you can do it through Facebook Pay if you have it set up. You can do it through Venmo, which is at Raven Nightclaw, just spell it out. Cash App is $Raven Nightclaw. And then you have the two PayPal.me links, which is, again, PayPal.me, / either my legal government name, Robert Vilches, or Raven Nightclaw. Every little bit helps. I would love to be able to pay the $35 a month for Blog Talk Radio or whatever platform I have to pay for to get my messages out. Help me out. Hook me up. Help a brother out. What humanity's not doing? Being mindful that together we can really win. Together, we could bring light back onto this planet, like this Native American story of the Raven, and bring light upon the world once again. Till next time, folks. This is your host, Reverend Raven Nightclaw HP. Wishing you good days, good nights. Be humble, be blessed, live in the vibration of love. And take care of each other. Love and light, guys.
A high-frequency channel where source and spirit meet in tandem, where forces between the mind, body, and spirit meet in friendship, while building a unity of energy and creation, fluidity in consciousness, where we let our spirits speak.